So, welcome everybody. Today's session is about mindful movement. My name is Bridgeen Rea-Kaya, and I'm going to introduce you to this beautiful practice that is very nourishing and helpful for our body and mind. Actually, any kind of movement is the number one thing that you can do for your mental health. So before we get into the presentation and get into the practice, so we'll be asking you to join in with me today and do some practice. I want you to pause, just stop, arrive here, roll your shoulders, really feel into that roll them forward, and take a wee moment to ask yourself, how do I feel now? So I want you to notice how you feel now, and then we'll do that again at the end and see if there's any change. Okay, so we're going to talk about what mindful movement is, we're going to practice, and I'm just going to recommend a few resources for you. So this is the second series of our 25 weeks, and I want to recap what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is the awareness that arises when we pay attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and without judgment. So what is mindful movement? It's movement by placing all your attention, or as much as you can, on the movements of your body as well as your breathing. Moving mindfully is moving with awareness, curiosity, and kindness. And we have 5 principles of movement-based mindfulness, which actually these principles apply to all these kind of mindfulness things. And the first thing is the stopping, the pausing. And we need to do this in order to hear the body. We have to slow down and listen. This is the starting point for all mindfulness practice. And intention setting. Setting an intention before you act can dramatically increase your ability to achieve whatever you want in life, not just this mindful movement practice today. But it's a good idea maybe to have an intention about why you're here today, maybe to learn something new, maybe to practice some mindfulness, maybe to learn how to be kind to yourself, or maybe just to stop. You can have a wee intention. And then we pay attention. And when we pay attention, we realize that our mind is a bit like a monkey or a puppy. If you're with me in the previous series, talked a lot about the puppy. You can detect the mind-wandering habits that hold you back and use your attention to create more space for the things that really matter. So when we learn to work with our attention, then we're more able to focus on what's important. And then we develop understanding. It's possible to tame your unruly mental monkeys and create new neural pathways in your brain to help you to realize your full potential. And these new neural pathways, they happen with repetition. So that's why a lot of what I do is repeated, because that's how you build your neural pathway. You just keep going down this new road, and yeah, so you just do it over and over again. So we keep coming back to the breath, keep coming back to the breath. That's the skill that's bringing us building our resilience. And then, as we've talked about before, attitude is very important. And the most important attitude to have is one of kindness and compassion. Compassion, facing and accepting our own difficult experiences, can profoundly transform our relationship with life. And that includes our physical shortcomings. So it could be that at this stage of our life, we can't move the way we used to. So we have to adapt. That might be one reason why you're here today. So it's about accepting that, having compassion and understanding. So I like this wee graphic here from the Mindfulness Association, based in Scotland. And they have produced this with some of the ways that you can practice mindful movement. I can see Tai Chi on there, yoga, Qigong. There is little bits about improving our mental health and our quality of life. We live longer, we do some mindful movement. It reduces anxiety, lowers cognitive decline, it builds our stress resilience, and we can get strong bones if we keep practicing. Yeah. So it's a really helpful practice. It even reduces depression. You can get outside every day into the light of the day. It's really helpful in reducing depression as well, especially if you just do like a 20-minute walk. Okay, some of the benefits of mindful movement is checking in with our bodies, getting moving, helps us to lower stress, release stagnant energy, strengthens our mind-body connection, and it's a form of self-care. People sometimes say they're practicing self-care. Well, what is it? Mindful movement is one form of self-care. And we're going to do some practice together. We're going to start with the 10 mindful movements. I learned these in a place called Plum Village from my teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, who has written this little book. And it was a while ago because you get a free DVD with it. But now it's on YouTube. So you can still get the book on Amazon, but if you go onto YouTube and you Google 10 mindful movements, it'll come up. So I'm going to stop the share and we're going to go into our exercise sequence. Before we start to do some movements, does anyone have any questions? Any comments? I know we're being recorded today and this is the third session, but I just wanted to double check.
Stagnant energy. What do you mean by that?
Oh, that was on the Mindfulness Association graphic, was it? Or was that on my list of benefits?
No, that was just, I think, on the last slide.
Okay. Yeah, it just means, if you don't move, if you watch TV all day, you kind of have an idea what stagnant energy is. It's just that kind of
yes.
we need to move our body to increase our prana or our chi or our energy. We need to keep the flow. So if we just it's like if you dam up the river, it's not moving, things can't circulate. So we need to move. Actually, I'm going to start with like as a good example. I know that I have a family history of arthritis. My granddad's fingers actually were like that, at the end, he couldn't even straighten them. And I can feel that stiffness in my fingers. So one way to work with that, and that becomes like a stagnant energy, the fingers don't actually straighten anymore, is that we can do this simple exercise like this. Yeah. Tighten it, release it. This is an example of getting the energy to flow in the hands. This is actually a yoga practice, honestly. And doing the little exercise where you rotate your ankles, we're going to do that in a minute. That's the same thing. It's actually just tightening and releasing the joints. So you can do that every day. It's very simple, very easy. So that's one you can do just to you can feel the energy flowing in your hands already. Now I want you to take your chin and bring it down towards your chest. And feel the weight of your head coming forward. Feel the muscles at the back of the neck stretching. And as you breathe out, just allow the head to fall more and more forward. And even though we're barely moving, we're just moving very slowly, we're making a movement that we don't often do deliberately. And then we're going to lift the head up nice and slowly, taking our time. And we're going to lift the eyes up towards the ceiling. You don't have to take your head back. In fact, if you have any concerns about your neck, please don't do that. So the most mindful thing to do is to pay attention and listen to your own body. If you like, you can take it a wee bit higher. And we're going to come back to the center. And we're going to take our chin over our shoulder and look across the room. So this idea of paying attention and listening to our body, it applies to all of these exercises. And you're being mindful if you use a chair, if you have to modify it. Gonna inhale and bring our head back to the center. Gonna exhale, take the head the other way. So with mindful movement, we're not trying to get anywhere. We're not trying to achieve anything. We're just feeling into the movement. coming back to the center. You might already feel a bit different just with that stretching of the neck. So now we're going to do a little bit more movement, a little bit more stretching. So I'm going to ask you to come and stand up with me over here. Okay. Let me see if you can see me all right. Okay. Just taking off my slippers. Okay, so let's do our warm up. We're gonna shake out our arms, shake out our legs. Do this a few times. This is even just this shaking is moving the stagnant energy, getting the body warmed up. You know, when you're cold, you might do star jumps or something to warm up. So it's the same kind of principle. Getting some heat, some energy generated in the body. We'll do our clapping. We'll give ourselves a round of applause just for being here, for showing up today. And then we're gonna go to the back of the hand. And we're just cupping our hand. And even though we're not actually moving, and you can do this practice sitting down, you are moving chi, the stagnant energy through the body, getting things flowing. And then we're going to come across, down, yourself around the applause on this side. Okay, and then we're going to make our hand into like a little pinch point, all our fingers, and we're going to just thump our chest, for want of a better word. I'm just thumping my chest. It's supposed to be stimulating the lymphs and the energy, getting things moving. Okay, and then the other side. This is us just getting warmed up. And then we'll do the same thing at the lower back, where the kidneys are. I've just got a fist and my hands in the fist. It's quite sore actually. And then we're going to take our hands out with a fist and we're just giving a good thump to the side of the buttocks. And then I'm going to cut my hands again and I'm going to just be slapping my thigh all the way down into the lower legs. I'm going to get to the ankles. I'm going to go up the mid thighs. And then I'm going to go back down again. And we'll do that one more time. Just patting all the way down the legs and all the way up the inner legs. Okay, and we'll place our hand on the hara, which is the point just below the belly button. And we'll just breathe. And we can warm up our belly as well. So even a massage will move the stagnant energy. Sorry, Len, you've got me going on about stagnant energy now. But it'll move the energy around the body. So any kind of movement, if you can't move at all, a massage is really helpful. Okay. So we'll do our warm up with our ankles. So I am standing up. You can see me. I've got my feet up like this, but not up that high, just up a little bit. I've lifted my knee up and I'm going to rotate my ankle around and my hands. Again, this is releasing the energy in the joints. Go the other way, opposite direction. And if you need to hold on to something, please hold on to something. Chair is always a good idea. Let's go the other side. Other direction. And breathe, make sure you're breathing. Take your 2 feet together, your knees together, and I'm going to put my hands on top of my knees and I'm just going to do a wee circle with my knees. Circle one way. Circle the other way. And then I'm going to take my hands up on my hips. And I told you about this one before as well. If you can't do any of these exercises, just stand like this. Maybe hear my dog is buddy. Just stand like this, buddy. And this is called the Superwoman pose. And whether you're a man or a woman, it increases your testosterone, which is your confidence hormone, and it decreases your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And there's a whole TED talk just about this power pose. It's by Amy Cuddy. You can find it if you Google. But you can just stand like this. If any of these movements feel too much, just stop and be mindful of your own body and listen to your own body and what you need to do. Okay, so we'll have a breath and then we're gonna rotate our hips. Big circles, moving one way, all the way around. And then we're going to do a big circle the other way. And then we're going to bend over. And if you're standing, I want everybody to bend over. And then we're going to swim. And we're going to swim forward. So imagine you're really doing a great front crawl. And then you're going to swim back. And then you're going to stand up and straighten up. And then we're going to swim again from standing. And we do a lot of exercises for the shoulders, because the shoulders is where we hold a lot of tightness and tension. And let's release it back now. Okay, and then we're going to take our arms out to shoulder height, and we're going to lift our shoulders up to our ears. Hold the breath in and then drop it. And let's do that twice more. Inhale, hold it, and release. Last one. And shake out the arms, shake out the legs. And that's us all nice and warmed up. We've already done the neck. So we're going to go straight into the 10 mindful movements. Okay. Our first mindful movement is and we do all the movements with the breath as best as we can. So I'm going to breathe in and take my arms up to shoulder height. I'm going to exhale and lower. Like moving through water, moving through an element of resistance. And I know it's really hard to slow down. We're all used to running, trying to get somewhere. This is just to enjoy the movement. Inhale, exhale. And I'll always tell you when the last one is. Last one. Inhale, exhale. And then pause and breathe. Close your eyes and breathe and listen. And we're going to do mindful movement 2. Inhale, just as mindful movement 1, only this time we're going to stretch all the way up to the sky. And exhale, nice and slow, all the way back down. Just taking your time. Inhaling. Exhaling. And you can see my broken arm, inhale, the broken shoulder, which I broke nearly 30 years ago and got knocked down by a car. I don't have full movement in the arm, but I still do yoga and all sorts of things, or have done over the years. So we just listen to our body, and we know we've got limitations. We just do it as best we can. Last one. Exhale. And pause. And breathe. You might notice your body temperature, your breath rate, your heart rate. And if it's not a bother on you, that's great too. Just noticing, just paying attention. This is our practice. So mindful movement 3 is when we become a wee flower. And we take our elbows up to match our shoulders, and our hands are on top of our shoulders like this. And we're going to open up. And we breathe in and out. In and out. Last one. And rest. Listening to the sounds inside and outside of your room. Mindful movement 4. You need a bit of space in this one. We're going to be moving our arms around. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to inhale. Do a big circle with my arms. I'm going to get to the top. Then I'm going to exhale and bring back. So I'm going to inhale up the other way now. And then exhale on the front. We just go in opposite directions. So we inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Breathing in, half the circle. Exhale in the other half. Exhale. The last one each way. Okay, so it's another 4. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and rest. And if you can hear above body barking, listen to what your body is saying. Close your eyes and focus and breathe. This is one benefit of mindfulness as well, is that we can stay calm even when everything is in chaos and dogs are barking. I want you to put your hands on your hips again and do the Superwoman pose, and then we're going to go forward, and this time we're going to imagine that we have a big red crayon at the top of our head, and we're going to make a circle with this big red crayon. So we're going to inhale, doing a big circle all the way up, and then all the way down the other side. Coming back to the center, and we're going to swing back the other way, inhaling up, back and round, and the other way. So inhaling and exhaling. Just doing it as best you can. Modifying it to suit your body. And you can have your knees bent if you need as well. And you can even do it in the chair. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We'll do last one in each direction. Inhale. And come up and rest. Okay. This next one, we're going to stretch through the whole length of the body and the lower back. And we're going to start a bit like exercise 2. We're going to breathe up and take our hands up to the sky. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to flow forward, going all the way towards the earth. Again, modify this to suit your body, bend your knees. If you have high blood pressure, don't take your head any lower than your heart, just stay here. If you're okay, you can come all the way forward. You can shake out your head and your shoulders. You can just hang there for a wee moment. Just for the first one, get that good stretch in the lower back. And then you're going to bend your knees and breathe in. Take the two arms up nice and slow. Inhale, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, all the way forward again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's inhale up. We'll make this the last one. Exhale out. Come back up. And rest. Okay, so our mindful movement 7 is really for the thighs. It's a bit of a thigh master. And we want to have our feet out like this, like a bit like Charlie Chaplin. And you want to be on your toes as best you can. So the heels are together. The toes are out to the corners of the room. And if you can, as best you can, stay on your toes for the whole thing. You can have your hands on your hips, come up on our toes, and then we go down into a squat with the knees going out towards the feet like this. Go all the way down, and then if you can, come up all the way again. Okay, and if you want to just do a wee half squat, that's okay too. And again, you'll probably have clicking and clacking. We're just moving that stagnant energy. We're just heating the body up and creating a wee bit of flow, a wee bit of chi, a bit of prana. We're all different words for the same thing, which I really think is energy. You can inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And we'll do the last one. And lower. And rest. You might need the rest now. Okay. Mindful movement 8 is for our hip, and we are going to be taking the foot up, not all as high as that, but we're going to have our hands on our hips. We're taking the knee up, we're taking it out straight ahead, taking it back up and lower. So the foot is up until I say lower. So we're going to go to the opposite leg. Inhale up, take it out, take it up, and take it down. Other leg. Inhale, hold it, up and down. Again, please use a chair, help you balance. Inhale, exhale. We'll do last one each side. And rest. That one was maybe more for the knee. This one is for the hip. This is where we're going to make big circles with our hips. So again, our hands are on our hips and we're going to lift this leg. We're going to put all the weight onto one leg, and then we're going to just draw a big circle with one foot and a big circle back the other foot. So, sorry, I can't explain that very well. So we're going to draw a circle with our toes. I haven't put my foot down, I'm still holding the foot up. And then I'm going to circle back the other way. So we're circling all the way around and then all the way back again. So we can inhale with one circle, holding the breath, exhale with the other one. Hard to do when you're talking. Inhale, exhale. The circles can be as small or as big as you want. Last one each side. And rest. And then we have mindful movement 10, our final movement. You know, the one I call the Bee Gees, the staying alive movement. So we're going to have one foot straight ahead, the other foot 90 degrees. I'm going to turn this foot around. I'm going to have one foot facing the computer. I'm going to, the foot that I've turned around to face this wall, I'm going to have it spread apart a little bit more. And I'm going to sweep my arm up. And as I sweep my arm up, I'm bending this knee down, sweeping this arm up and back. It's a bit like a warrior pose. And then come back. It's also a bit like Saturday Night Fever. But we pay attention. Inhale and exhale. Last one this side. And then we turn around. This foot goes forward. This foot goes, in my case, towards the window. Make sure you have a wide stance. Put your other foot behind, or the other hand behind, and then inhale up, bend the knee, and come back. And maybe you also notice limitations on each side. This is my weaker side. Inhale, exhale. Last one. And last rest. And when you're ready, we'll come and sit down. So I hope that was okay. If anyone would like to comment or share or ask me any questions. Lynn says her stagnant energy has gone. That's great. Mary said, yeah, that was great. Thank you. So maybe you've all asked me the questions in the previous weeks. So we're going to go and do some more practice. Fiona is asking, how often should we do these exercises? I say you can do 10 minutes of mindful movement every day. Yeah, that's what I'm recommending. You know, I took a bit longer explaining that, but you can find little YouTube videos. You can learn these simple stretches and do them in 10 minutes. Yeah, 10, 15 minutes a day is especially to keep your joints oiled. I don't think that's a technical term, but that's how it feels. Is like your joints are being oiled by moving them. Yeah, rotating your ankles, rotating your wrists, moving your neck. If we don't move it, we lose it, as we all know. Yes, the squat was hard work. Gail said the squat was hard work. Yeah, hard work for me too. So, and it's like anything, I suppose the more you do it, the easier it'll be. So I haven't been doing 10 minutes of that every day, which I really should be. Lewis found it easier than last week. Yeah, it does build up. It's like all these things. It's with repetition. if you keep doing it. So if you just come here once a week and do it once a week, it's good. But it's like you want to learn how to play the guitar and you go to your lesson once a week. If you don't have a guitar at home, it's going to take a really long time to learn how to play the guitar. So you need to also practice by yourself as well, as best you can. But I'm glad that you came back again. Yes. Thank you. Rhonda did her exercises mainly seated and just adapted them. That's perfect. The name of the YouTube video, if you just type in the words 10 mindful movements, you will find several YouTube videos. So you can find ones, I found a lovely one with the monk and there's no words in it. It's silent and you just copy him. So, and he's doing exactly what I did today, but without all that talking. So you might enjoy that. And there's other ones. There's even one of Thich Nhat Hanh. I usually mention there's one of him in his 70s doing it, even on his toes. So just to show us all up. You need to do the warm up before. You don't have to do the warm up because the mindful movements are gentle and they will warm you up. I just like to do the warm up because it's fun and because it's good to get things moving, but you don't have to. If you have time to do the warm up, yeah, I would do it. It's just more movement. Gail's asking me which one was for lowering cortisol. So just this pose of standing up with your 2 feet on the ground and your hands on your hips. It's called the Superwoman pose. And a researcher in Harvard University called Amy Cuddy, she found that if you stand like that for 2 minutes, you lower your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And I think you're right. All of the exercises will lower your cortisol if you do them mindfully, if you breathe with them. Yeah. So that's all I know about that. There is a TED Talk if you Google TED Talk Amy Cuddy, that's Amy with Cuddy. You can find her TED Talk. Yes, we can all definitely do the Superwoman one. Yeah. That's Superman as well. Everybody can do that one. That's great. Okay, thank you for sharing all your comments. I really appreciate that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the presentation and we're going to talk about the next thing, which is walking meditation. And walking meditation is just ordinary walking, but paying attention, bringing mindfulness into it. So it's paying attention with kindness and compassion. Okay. And so the last couple of weeks when I've done it with you, I've just said, you don't need to see me, but because this is being recorded, you're just going to see me walking up and past the screen. It's really not going to be exciting. It's just so that we're not looking at a blank chair because that's probably not very good for the recording. Let me see, do I have anything else? Okay, I'll come back to this after. Okay, so if you'd like to stand up, you do have to stand up if you want to participate in this because it is walking meditation. Okay, I'm just going to be walking very slowly, and that's what I'm going to be inviting you to do as well. So when we practice walking meditation, let me see if you can see me okay. You don't really have to see me, I'm just going to be walking slowly. But if you want to look at the screen, I'll be here. Okay, so when we practice walking meditation, we learn to walk again with baby steps. So, and when we are walking, what is it we're doing? So let's think about what we're doing. We're lifting, we're moving, and we're placing the foot. And when you think about it, you might get a wee bit wobbly. And that's normal. Lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, moving, placing is a little mantra by a man called John Kabat-Zinn. You can have your hands actually at your side, in front, or at the back. And I'm just walking really slowly. And some of these Zen guys, they just do 12 paces one way and 12 paces another way. So I'm going to do really about 4 or 5 paces so that the screen isn't blank. But you can walk all around your room if you have a bigger room. And so I'm walking and paying attention to my steps. I'm walking and aware of lifting, moving, and placing my foot. And the lifting, moving, placing is kind of a mantra to focus our mind, to keep us present in what it is that we're doing. My teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, he says, walk as if kissing the earth with your feet. So when our foot comes into contact with the floor or the earth beneath us, we are aware of the heel, the ball of the foot, the toes coming into contact, and we're aware of walking gently, printing onto the earth our peace, our freedom, our solidity. And when we do this, with each step, we arrive. And with each step, we come home to the present moment, to the here and the now. So Thai's mantra is, I have arrived, I am home. Arrive, arrive, home, home. We come home to the here and the now. We come home to the present moment, the only moment that we're truly alive. Thai says, if you can arrive 100% in your step, then you can smile, a smile of victory, because you're really here, you're really present. I have arrived, I am home. Arrive, arrive, home, home. So we use these words as a mantra. And as we take a step, we can say arrive, another step, arrive, home, another step, home, another step. And we can even walk with our breath, maybe breathing in as we lift the foot, breathing out as we place it, or breathing in with one step and breathing out with another. So you can coordinate your breath, your steps, your mantra. So it's a lot more going on than when we're just sitting. So this is a very helpful practice to do. You can even do it outside. When you're outside, you might have to go a little bit faster. Told you about the monk. He does the New York subway walking meditation because you have to go fast in the New York subway. So when you learn how to walk slowly, you can still bring that energy when you have to walk fast. But for now, we're paying attention. We're aware of each step. But for our home practice, we can choose a spot from, say, the office to the car, from the kitchen to the living room. Just choose a place and decide, I'm going to do walking meditation here. Maybe just 2 to 5 minutes, and see if you can actually keep your attention on your steps, on your body moving, on placing your feet, on being present with each step. And we do that as a way to really rest the mind and the body. mind and body together, arriving, coming home. Arrive, arrive, home, home. The mind can go in 1,000 directions. You might find that your mind is busy. But on this lovely path, and you can look around your room and notice all the lovely things that you have collected and created. Maybe the plants, maybe the window, the view, the objects. On this lovely path, I walk in peace. With each step, a gentle breeze blows. With each step, a flower blooms. And we just enjoy each step. Breathing in and breathing out. Shortly, you're going to hear the sound of the bell, which will indicate that we are going to stop walking. And when you hear the bell, you just pause and breathe. Each time we hear the bell, breathe in and breathe out 3 times mindfully. And then you can come and Jamie will take a seat and we'll talk about that. So, any questions or comments about the walking meditation? I can see that Sheila has put in the chat the registration for next week's mindful movement session. You can have a click on that if you want to register for next week. Tammy's asking me if the heel down first or toes or either. I think you just walk normally, and usually when we walk, it's the heel, the ball, and then the toes. That's normally how I walk. Now, if you walk with your toes down, that's fine. But you just pay attention to however you walk. But normally it's the heel, and then the toes are following the heel. Yeah. Thanks, Tammy, for that question. Any other questions or comments? Can you apply it to running? Fiona's asking. Yes, you can. So if you're running and you're just in the zone and you're paying attention to your steps and your breath and your body and the movement, and you know where you are and you're not drifting away off. Sometimes when we're running, we go, into work and we solve a problem that's been happening. We want to just be in the here and now. And absolutely, you can do mindful running. There's many people that do that, yeah. And you can find on the apps lots of tracks and people can guide you through that as well. Give it a go. Let me know how it is. I'm not a runner, so but I know that you can. You can basically bring mindfulness into everything. Mindfulness is the awareness. What happens when we pay attention on purpose and in the present moment with kindness. So you can bring that mind. You can bring your mind of mind. It's portable. I always say mindfulness is like water. It'll go into everything that you bring it into. Anything else? This is your recommended daily practice. 15 minutes of mindful movement daily. Join a yoga or Tai Chi class or some kind of mindful movement class. You can find them in all the local leisure centres and a lot of community halls and things like that. And do some seated stretches. If you're a person who works at a computer all day, just do some stretching, breathing, some hand movements, some neck movements. You can do all that while seated and that'll just break up your day. I have actually got a walking meditation track on Insight Timer. So if you forget the instructions and not sure what you're supposed to do for walking meditation, I think it's 8 minutes. So you can listen to that and you can continue to walk. Yeah, so I've told you about Insight Timer before. And we're going to finish how we started, which is pause, breathe, roll the shoulders, Roll them forward. And then take a wee moment and ask, how do I feel now? And notice how you're feeling compared to when we started the class. If you want to find out about more of my classes, you can go to immeasurableminds.co.uk. I have a couple of things coming up in the next few months. And that's my thank you to everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for practicing. Thank you for your comments. And happy to see all those people saying that they recommended it, and that Gail, you're doing the insight timer. That's great. Oh, that's great. People are enjoying it. So that's lovely to hear. I'll be here until March every Tuesday. So please come back again next week with another 2 weeks of mindful movement.